I'm David Volk for Chin Music. Today's post, Project 2025 shuffles the deck chairs for migrants. Did you ever get that not-so-secure feeling? As strange as it sounds, there are a few topics where liberals and the Heritage Foundation agree. In this case, it's the Department of Homeland Security. Liberals hate it because they saw its creation as an unconstitutional power grab by the government to control immigration. Ironically, Heritage hates it because it doesn't grab enough power. So, Project 2025 wants to shut it down, rearrange all the deck chairs on this particular Titanic, redistribute all of its offices to other agencies, and deport everybody it doesn't like starting on day one. And we mean everybody. The good news for a lucky few migrants is that it can occasionally be a nuanced hate, so a few may get to stick around for a while. The bad news is that the hate is pretty comprehensive and Heritage wants to get started right away. So this may take a few posts to explain. Let's start with the power grab. It will go down this way. 1. Not as simple as ABC. You know all those governmental offices known by their initials that you never understood, like the HHS, which is the Department of Health and Human Services, and ICE, Immigrations and Customs Enforcement? Heritage wants to move them out of Homeland's jurisdiction so that there will be nothing left for it to run, which is kind of how you fire someone when you're too chicken shit to say you're fired. You just take away all their duties and stop paying them. Eventually, they'll get the message. 2. A new way of doing things. You know how most of us get a 3-month probationary period at a job where we are trained to do stuff, but not actually allowed to do something important out of fear we'll break something or cause an international incident? Yeah, that'll be a thing of the past in the agency that controls immigration. In normal times, a president might temporarily fill an agency top-level job with an acting administrator who has limited decision-making capabilities until the Senate approves the appointment, which could take a while. In Project 2025, the appointee will be able to make important decisions and implement the president's policies until the Senate boots him out. So if Dementia J were to win and hire his buddy Hannibal Lector to run immigration services, and Lector decided to throw detainees in cages where they would be kept as a potential food source, I'm not sure the Senate could do much about it. At least that's my read. That isn't quite the end of it either. Let's say the Senate decides not to confirm Lector after he's enacted the new rule. The controversial rule would still stand even after he's removed from office because it was already enacted. That's bad news for us, but good news for Secretary Pennywise the Clown. Number 3, the revenge of Banny Dooley. Did you ever watch the public TV show Zoom when you were younger? Go ahead, deny it, but I can hear you humming, "We're gonna zoom, zoom, we're gonna zoom, zoom." The kids on the show used to talk about the likes and dislikes of Banny Dooley, who loved jazz but didn't like music, and liked streets but didn't like roads, because she liked words with double letters. Her sister Nancy was exactly the opposite, preferring single letters over doubles in words like illegal immigrants. Nancy is said to be a good candidate for a Customs and Border Patrol, where Project 2025 wants the agency to have greater ability to arrest and detain illegals, put agents back on horseback, and increase funding for a border wall. You remember the border wall, don't you? That's the one Mexico was supposed to pay for. That's all for now. I'm not saying this chapter is long or anything, but it goes on for several days. And the saga continues. I hate to sound like Jeb Bush, but please clap. The more claps I get, the more likely I am to get paid. You can clap up to 50 times, and please leave comments. I love to hear what you're thinking, even if what I'm saying left you madder than a wet hen. I've been David Volk for Chin Music.